Back to the Island Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. Right next to me is Paul Zeise. You hear a lot of rumors during coaching searches. You get a lot of tips. You got to figure out which ones are credible and which ones aren't. But you do hear a lot of rumors right now about Sean Miller reaching out to Pitt at some point, and you would think that that marriage is going to end over in Arizona just because of the black cloud that's hanging over that university right now. Now, I also heard the rumor that Pitt would not be interested. And my question is, that would be my first phone call to Sean Miller. I understand Heather Lyke is a compliance person. That's her background, and maybe she doesn't want to deal with this. But, hey, what's the worst that can happen? If he gets into trouble, there would be a show cause, and it might be a few games. He's not going to be banned from college basketball.
No, I don't think there's going to be a show cause. There might be, again, you look at Patino, who are multiple-time offenders. They get 8 games?
Yeah.
Okay, so you bring him here, something comes up, and he gets suspended for 8 games. Next year, a year they're going to stink anyway.
Short term.
Who cares? So,
I agree.
To me, and I don't think he'll get arrested. I don't think there's going to be indictments. I don't think there's going to be anything really much more than, maybe Arizona gets put on probation.
Yeah, I don't think those documents will ever be unsealed.
I doubt, I would say this, I highly doubt that they would even really seriously consider him, because when you've got 5, if you count Heather, 5 of your top 6 people are compliant or from compliance background, I have a hard time believing that they're going to give him a shot. I would. He'd been my first call. And the thing is, maybe he says, no, I'm going to wait this thing out in Arizona. But you've got to at least call him and find out.
And, those 5 people that you brought up, those 5 top people aren't a Pitt people. They're not from Pittsburgh. No. They don't have a Pitt background, so maybe they don't know what Sean Miller really means to the university, too. So,
or that's not what it is. Here's the biggest problem, okay? All of these athletic directors, especially newer ones, especially ones that they all want to show that they're smarter than everybody else, right? So they don't want to go get your guy or the alumni's guy or this and that. They want to get their own guy so they can be, look, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what happens. The classic example of that was Steve Peterson firing Dave Wannstedt and then going out and hiring Michael Haywood. Maybe
the worst coaching hire ever.
And the point was, he was the only person involved in the search, Steve. He went out there, you know what I mean? Didn't run anybody past anybody else. And it was kind of like, he brought him back, and it was like, I'm going to prove to the world I'm smarter than everyone, and I discovered this young guy who I brought here. And it's like, how did that work out? To me, a lot of these athletic directors would be a lot better off if they stopped trying so hard to create their own legacy and just hired the best guy or hired somebody, even if someone else, like Steve the first time when Sonny Vaccaro hand-delivered him Ben Howland, and he listened. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But he listened mostly because nobody knew who Ben Howland was, so it did kind of look like it was his guy. Like, oh, I found this guy out of nowhere, because people wanted, Skip Ross or whoever. Calipari. People wanted a lot of those kind of guys. My point is, a lot of these athletic directors, it's all about their legacy. It's all about, this is my first big hire. It's all about, if I get somebody here and it's, it'll be my, To me, hire the right person. Hire the best person. And don't be so stubborn and, oh, well, this is who all the alumni want. That's not who we want, because, it's not my hire. That's what 3/4 of the problem is.
Jeff Long hired Wannstedt, right? I get
yes.
Guys. So, okay. All right.
Yes.
Peterson brought in Walt Harris. Jeff Long brought in Wannstedt.
Yeah.
And then Peterson fired Wannstedt.
Yeah.
Trying to make his own legacy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the biggest problem I see with all of this stuff. That's why a guy like Sean won't get hired.
All right. Out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Ed in Greensburg. How you doing, Ed? Ed.
Yes.
You're on. What's up?
I'd like to throw up a. I'm on there.
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, I want to throw out a name that no one's brought up before.
Go ahead.
Susie McConnell. Why not?
Susie McConnell's going to get fired from the women's program. Let's go out to Michael out in Bethel Park. How you doing, Michael?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Good, not much. Just a little tired. Had a long shift at the steel yard, but had a question for you guys. Wanted to see what you guys.
I'm sure it's a good one. All right, let's go out to Mike out in North Versailles. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, gentlemen. Good evening.
Thanks for calling.
Okay. All right. A couple of things about Pitt. I know it's spilled milk, but they made the wrong move going to the ACC. And listening to 93.7 fan earlier, is Pitt not getting the same? I'm trying to word this correctly. The same, financial benefits or getting the same financial help that they were getting in the Big East. That's why I heard they're recruiting, if I heard that correctly. I'm going to listen to you guys. Thank you.
Mike, they're getting more money. They're getting more money so they can get a better coach.
In the Big East, annually from the Big East, they got about $2.5 million from the Big East when all was said and done. They're getting about $25 million from the ACC.
Yeah.
It's like 10 times as much now. They should be able to hire whoever they want to hire.
And they should be able to recruit wherever they want to recruit.
Let me just say this. When you see some things like this, Wisconsin, for instance, Barry Alvarez is a long-time Wisconsin guy. When he needed a football coach, what did he do? Went and got Paul Christ.
Yeah.
The one that made the most sense.
Exactly.
But that's because he's a Wisconsin guy. He's been there for a long time. I'm not saying you need like a Pitt guy, but to me, if you're coming from the outside, you should at least understand and read the tea leaves and understand the climate that you're in.
Do you think that they understand the Pitt climate, this administration, or is it too early to tell?
It's too early to tell, but again, it all comes down to, that doesn't matter. They want, and it's not, I'm not picking on them.
Yeah.
That's how it is. They just want to show that they're smarter than everybody and they're going to get their guy. But the problem is if you're going for your guy and the obvious one's here and then your guy falls through and this guy falls through and this guy falls through, then you go to plan C and you end up bringing, Kevin Stallings or somebody here.
Yeah, and you have to think about what's going to energize this fan base.
I keep hearing Mark Schmidt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you should have just kept Stallings. You should have just kept Stallings.
You're better off going after Andy Toole up at Robert Morris than bringing back Mark Schmidt over to this area. All right, back out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Ken in Clearfield. How you doing, Ken?
Hey, hi, Rich. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I seen Pitt lost a lot, like 8 guys.
Not yet.
8 guys on their college basketball team. Yeah.
Not yet. Go ahead.
And it's unbelievable. I can't believe that. But I have no idea who they can hire for a coach. I have no idea. Do you guys have an idea?
Yeah. We've been talking about it for the last 20 minutes. We have a couple ideas. Okay, all right. If you have a couple ideas, who's your number one choice, Miller?
Hurley.
If I'm hiring, if I'm doing the hiring,
yeah. My first call is Miller.
Second call, Hurley?
Hurley.
Yeah, that's the way I would do it too.
Yeah.
That'd be
those are the first two. And you know who my third call would be? Bobby Hurley. Why not?
What do you got to lose? Bring it back to the East Coast?
Apparently he wants to come back east. Okay. He wants to come back east. He's not that happy at Arizona State. I got a job out here for you. What's the worst you can say? No, I'm not interested.
Yeah, and if you're bringing in a guy, like you said, like a Mark Schmidt or a Chris Gent or someone like this, what do you think? There's 500 people that show up at the arena now.
You should have kept Stallings.
Yeah, I mean, even if they are a good coach,
and here's what's going to happen.
The fan base is just going to be outraged.
If they end up with like the hot mid-major name guy, like Buffalo's guy or something,
yeah,
people will be excited, and then you got to figure out, can the guy actually coach or not?
All right, well, we're going to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls, some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.